Hi. So, okay, just like we are taught how to look for the red flags and the trauma and the toxicity and everything, are we also taught how to kind of look at the confident, happy people? There is a confidence game in town, and it is fully driven by herds. Herds who come together and kind of uh, prop each other up because there is an inherent advantage in making something look really, really good. And that could be a trend, it could be a fad, it could be an idea. Suddenly there'll be like these bunch of people like, oh, this is the next big thing. Remember Metaverse? Remember Web3? And while it's great to go with somebody's excitement, I mean, there is a certain discernment that you need to have. And I'm the kind of person who kind of pursues just about every fad that comes along. But over time, I think the only thing I kind of get paid for is to call out hubris and to call out frauds. I think last two corporate stints I had, I think my only job was to look at people and say, ye jhoot hai, and this is a fraud, and let's not do this. And I've taken wrong positions myself too, but I am not a big fan of confidence. I am not a big fan of herd mentalities. I do not think that just because you use words like Gen AI and DPI and this and that in your conversation, that makes you smarter. I don't think that if you come from a certain college or a pedigree, etc., that you matter. Education is no barometer for intelligence. So, and this doesn't make me like a critic or whatever. I'm a massive optimist. I love the next big thing. I love technology and all of that, and I will try everything once. Like, I'm one of those people, right? But I am very mindful of the fact that when I'm looking at something, I'm also looking at the history of it. And as you go deeper into the history of things, you'll realize that most of the stuff that you get to see today. Anything, take anything, Gen AI for that matter, or automation for that matter. Nothing new, right? Actually, it's just better computing. It's just when you look at deep tech, you have to go into the history of it so that you are not getting carried away. Why are we getting so carried away? I think we have to also look at the genesis points of things. You have to also look at where this possibly can go 50 years from now. You have to be able to look at things in a timeline in that sense, right? And history is a great teacher in that sense. If all of us have been in industry long enough to kind of be able to say, okay, and you can choose to be corrupt about it and take a position because the position serves you, and that's absolutely okay. But don't expect me to say yes to you just because you're in a position of power. That's not going to happen, and that doesn't happen to me either. Every time I'm kind of falling for something, I have enough people around me who will pull me up and say, Namrita, this is stupid, don't do this. And that's great. It's great to have people who kind of call you out on your own illusions and your own rose colored glasses, because the confidence game is very, very high in life, and there are these bunch of really smart people who are propping each other up. But hey, isn't Boys Club over? Are we not smarter than that? Are we still falling for degrees? Are we still falling for fads? Are we still falling for words? Are we still falling for jargon? Aren't we smarter? What happened? All the LLMs haven't made us smarter. Whatever. Don't fall for the positive ships either. Discernment. I think the only quality that really matters is discernment, and nothing else at the end of it.